Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast and welcome back to the biggest preview I've ever done this season. I don't think I've done a preview as big as this Arsenal take on Manchester United, the battle of the fallen giants, the battle of two great clubs that have now turned into ash and are trying to rebuild. But of course, the rebuild will be starting next season. That is when we'll see both clubs as rebuilding. For now, it is a battle of two fallen giants, the biggest clash in Africa, the biggest rivalry in Africa. And I think this game, lads, comes with a lot of attention. I don't think there is a game I enjoy more than Arsenal Manchester United. I don't think there's a game that I mark on that fixture list. Is there any game that I would mark apart from Manchester United Arsenal? I mean, the other games, they could come as they want. But of course, we take on Manchester United this Saturday. It's a very, very big one. It's a very, very important game. We're going to be looking at how Arsenal will line up, how Manchester United will line up. We'll be looking at the team news, the injury update around the likes of Tomiyasu, around the likes of Kieran Tierney and Thomas Partey. Any chances for them to be appearing? Lacazette is back as well, so we'll be trying to look into that. Manchester United, Harry Maguire, the Maguire problem, the Maguire effect. I mean, we could just say we are gonna win it because they have Harry Maguire. Look, we are gonna be diving into all that. Make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so we take on Manchester United tomorrow on Saturday in the early kickoff of the weekend. I think Arsenal have taken some time without playing early kickoffs, and they're not the best games for me, and they're not the best games for Manchester United. However, Arsenal have not won a game in 13 Premier League games against Manchester United on Saturday. Actually, in the last 15 Premier League games on Saturdays, we've only won 3 times against Manchester United on Saturday in the last 15 games. United have won 7 and we have drawn 5 times. However, the good thing is that the 3 times we've beaten Manchester United on Saturday have come as early kickoffs. So look, that is not a very, very bad statistic. Manchester United are unbeaten in 13, visits to the, in the Premier League to London. The last 13 times they visited London clubs, they are unbeaten. And do not forget that just, that only highlights how Manchester United are, how good they've been on the road. They're so good. Look, I don't know why they're very, very poor at the Old Trafford at home right from the beginning of the season. They've been absolutely shit at home. But on the road, do not underestimate them. Yes, we went at the Old Trafford. We lost 3-2. I think that's a game we were supposed to win. And we just messed up. But they are really, really good at home. So 13 visits to London. They have not lost the game. The last club to do that, the longest record standing for a club outside London to come and visit London for the longest time without losing a game is Liverpool, and they stand at 16 games, right? But that is not something to be to be afraid of. Manchester United are unbeaten. Oh, sorry, Arsenal. Oh, did I say United? Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 3 Premier League home games against Manchester United. Now that is good, and United will be looking to complete their first double against Arsenal since 2017. That is when they last beat us home and away. Ever since then, they have not done so. And actually, if you go back and look at the last 6 games that we played against United, United will be looking for their second win against Arsenal in the last 6 games. That shows you that we've been really, really doing well. In the last 3 against them at the Emirates Stadium, we've not actually conceded a goal. If you go back and you trace, and trace those games, Arsenal have not lost a game. Arsenal have won 3 of those. So Arsenal come into this game in pole position to beat Manchester United, hands down. I think this game really means a lot for United and Arsenal. Look, I think Arsenal's hopes for the for the top 4 are back on, and this is where we either announce ourselves as the biggest bottlers in the league, or we announce ourselves as a team that has actually realized what we want and are ready to take action. We start at 57 points. The same number of points as Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs do have a Liverpool game, and of course we do have to play Spurs in the Northern Derby. So what Arsenal have to do right now is just keep on winning and praying that Spurs lose points and praying that United lose points. If we beat United, the next game they play, the next club they'll play is Chelsea. So you think United can? Of course, they lost to Liverpool. If they lose to us and probably draw against Chelsea or lose against Chelsea, that just wipes them off the top four. We just need to end United's hope for the top four this weekend. So 54 points is what they have. They're 3 points behind Arsenal, and that means that if they win against us, they'll be on level points with us. We do not want that. United, if you look at the team news that is around the club, they do have a couple of injuries. Paul Pogba did limp off the pitch against Liverpool. I don't think he was really, really badly injured. I think he was, he looked at the situation in that game and he said, I cannot continue in this. Liverpool are already dominating this. They're gonna hit us 4-0. They're gonna humiliate us. I don't need to be part of that. And I think this United side is damaged. This is a broken Manchester United side. I've never come into a preview. I've never come into a game, and I've requested Arsenal to be so sure of beating a huge club like United. But this is a broken Manchester United side. This is a greatly broken United side. So how could they line up, and what players do they have available? David De Gea will be in goal. We think, and I think he will be in goal for them. Harry Maguire and maybe Bailey, or probably Varane and Bailey. It will depend on Ralf Rangnick, but I think Maguire is undroppable. That 80 million price tag on his back, there is no way they're gonna drop him. So I think it's gonna be Maguire and Varane, or Maguire and Eric Bailey. Very, very good point for us to expose there. In the back line, Diego Dallo and Telles could be the wing backs. Could be the probably wing backs. I don't know if he's gonna play a back four, a back three, but there will be the wing backs. Matic, Fred, and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. I reckon that is what we'll see. Jadon Sancho, Elanga, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Now Ronaldo lost his son over the I think it was over the weekend, and then he couldn't play against Liverpool. He was given that that period. But he's now back. I think he's gonna be back. Marcus Rashford probably on the bench, but I won't be surprised if I see Sancho, Rashford, and Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Like I said, they have a few injuries, especially that of Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay. But I think they will assess McTominay to see whether he will be available. For Arsenal, our injuries are still the same, and it's very, very, it's very interesting that we've bounced back to winning ways even after suffering those injuries, and no one has come back. No one has actually made a return, but then we bounced back to winning ways against Chelsea. So how could we line up? I think 3 players are gonna be key in this one: Mohamed Elneny, Nuno Tavares, and Edin Ketia. I mean, if you were Mikel Arteta, do you drop any of those, or do you just copy, cut and paste that lineup that beat the humiliated Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge? This is what I would go for in terms of the Arsenal lineup. Ramsdale in goal. I would still play a back 3 against Manchester United. Rob Holding, Ben White, and Gabriel Magalhaes. Look, that back line is becoming suspect. The back line is becoming suspect, and I don't know why. And I honestly don't understand why this back line has become that shit. Like, we are conceding, an average of 2 goals per 90 in the last 4 games. I don't understand. This is a back line that could barely concede 1.5 goals per 90, and now we are conceding 2.1 goals per 90. We need to change that. But I would go for a back 3. Of course, the wing backs. Obviously, if you're playing a back 3, then it's the wing backs. So the wing backs, Nuno Tavares in there, and Saka and Bukayo Saka, right? So Tavares to the left and Bukayo Saka to the right, just like it was against Chelsea. I don't want you to say, "Oh, Cossy, how are you playing Saka as a wing back?" Of course, that is how we played against Chelsea, but of course, he played very, very high up the pitch. You will understand when you read more about these 3-4-3 and 4-3-3 formations, right? And then, of course, in that midfield mix, pivot, I want Xhaka and Elneny. I think they've done very, very well in against Chelsea, especially given the quality Chelsea had, and the ball possession and the share of the ball they had up to 68% ball possession. I think they really did very well. Then in front of them, that is where the question, that is where questions are gonna be. Do you drop Emil Smith-Rowe because he had a very, very good game against Chelsea? Do you drop him and introduce Gabriel Martinelli, who I think would be very key when we are facing Harry Maguire? Just a minute, I'm gonna be talking about that. So, anyway, this is what I would go for. I'd play Xhaka and Elneny in the pivot, slightly ahead of them, Martin Odegaard. Then I'd play high up the pitch. I'd play Emil Smith-Rowe and then Eddie Nketiah. So I wouldn't change that lineup. Simply, if you still followed the lineup that we played against Chelsea, I wouldn't change it. I mean, we just need that kind of stability. We just need that kind of consistency, and the consistency that we need will come from players playing together. It's gonna come from because we've changed the formation in the last game. It has worked for us. We just need to continue. Now, many people will say the 3-4-3 or the 3-5-2 formation is conservative, right? And it was only right to play it against Chelsea because Chelsea are miles better than us. But I've said this: don't underestimate Manchester United. They are still a huge club. They have one of the best, football minds, and that is Ralf Rangnick. And they have the best player in the world at the moment, Cristiano Ronaldo. So you cannot just underestimate them. I want us to play a back three to deal with Ronaldo, to deal with Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes. Pack the midfield so that, look, I think with Manchester United, what I've seen with them this season is the moment you take away the ball from them, you've beaten them. Just look at how Liverpool played against them. Just look at how Everton played against them. Just look at how Norwich played against them. The moment you have the ball, you can create all sorts of problems for them. Look, their midfield is one of the worst. I think Matic is a quality player. I think Fred is a quality player. I think Bruno is a quality player. But right now, this team is totally broken that you cannot differentiate between who is good, who is broken, and who is not. This team is in that state where losing has become automated. When they pick up a point against any club, whether it's Norwich, whether it's Burnley, they themselves are absolutely surprised. So many clubs have done it this season. Burnley, they've done it. Watford have done it. Everton have done it. Leicester have done it. They've picked up points against Manchester United. I don't think Arsenal, we are in a position to be afraid of United anymore. There was that period when they were really dominant against us. It's over. That is over, and I don't think it's gonna come back anytime soon because as they rebuild under Erik ten Hag, we are rebuilding under Mikel Arteta. So it's gonna reach a time when we are almost at that at the same level, and I won't be surprised in the next 6-10 years if Arsenal and Manchester United become the two, or actually re-become. Is there anything like that, like re-become? Okay, return to being the two superpowers, in UK football, in the Premier League. I won't be surprised because look, as City and Liverpool dynasties are living on, they will have, there will be a time when they come to an end. Probably when the Jurgen Klopp era runs out, and Pep Guardiola era runs out at City. And then you look at these two dynasties that are being built by Mikel Arteta and Erik ten Hag. If they can survive this period, then there is no reason as why Arsenal and Man United won't be the big superpowers and two superiorities in English football come the next decade. But in this game today or tomorrow, what Arsenal really need to do is to just pick up a point. So how do we beat Manchester United? That is the huge question. How do we beat Manchester United? One, I think we need to keep the ball. Look, against Chelsea, I said sit back, play a low block, and make sure that whatever you do, you don't allow Chelsea to have that kind of free, freedom. Should I say, in your final third? We did it very well. We played that kind of actually 5-4-1 formation where Chelsea had to break down our first line of defense, which had 4 players, and then break down the second line of defense, which had 5 players. And it was so hard for Chelsea. It was really, really hard for Chelsea. Right now, in this Manchester United game, I think you think about 2 things. One, you can't allow Manchester United to have the ball. 2, you need to target their weaker areas, which is Harry Maguire and the midfield. And 3, you need to take your chances. United, we've seen them against Tottenham, putting in, look, they've beaten Tottenham home and away this season. A hat-trick from Cristiano Ronaldo did it. So we know now that they're capable of surprises. They're really capable of surprises. They're capable of putting in good performances at any point in time, right? Maybe not good performances, but they have they are players that can carry them. Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo, Sancho. They can carry them. Those individually brilliant players. And this is a game where I'm going to ask, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, and Martin Odegaard to be at their best, because the more you expose United, we've seen them, they can leak goals. You can hit them 5, you can hit them 6, you can hit them. Look, how beautiful would it be for Arsenal to hit for once? Hit Manchester United 4 goals, hit United 5 goals. How beautiful would that be? So for me, lads, I'm going to go for a very, very crazy prediction as I end this preview. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. I think they'll score. They'll score. The Arsenal defense, like I said, we are conceding 2 goals per 90 on average. So I don't see how we stop them from scoring. I'm gonna say this: Arsenal 3, United 1. If they disappoint us, look, there won't be an excuse for Arsenal. There is no excuse for Arsenal not to win this game. My name is Cossy. Drop your predictions in the comment box. We'll be doing the combined 11 with Rokan from Manchester United Matters and Rokan Media. So watch out for that. And we'll be doing the grand preview and thoughts with Glenn at 8 p.m. today. I'll be dropping the Arsenal transfer news show very, very early today. I think in 1 hour and a half I'll be dropping that. So make sure you watch it and drop a video drop a like on the video. Or did I say drop a video a like? Wow. How did I say that? Speak to you very soon.